What is the deadliest weapon in a commander's arsenal? Is it the sharpest sword, the strongest bow, or the most well-trained soldier? Or could it be something far more subtle? A whisper of doubt, a seed of suspicion carefully planted in the enemy's mind. This is not a story of battlefield heroics, but of a silent war waged in the shadows of trust. The formidable Zhao army, led by the brilliant Chinese general Lian Po, stood firm against the Qin invasion. His defensive strategy was perfect, like an iron wall, impossible to breach. The Qin commanders knew that direct assault would lead to catastrophic losses. But the Qin strategist Fan Zhu perceived a different kind of weakness. He saw that the greatest threat to Zhao was not its military strength, but the fragile relationship between its general and its king. He would craft a weapon not of steel, but of perception. A masterpiece of misinformation designed to make the Zhao court destroy its own greatest defender. He would weaponize rumor and let suspicion become his assassin. This is the essence of the most delicate yet devastating of stratagems, Fan Jiàn, turning the enemy's own assets into weapons against them. How does one make a loyal general appear as a traitor in the eyes of his own king? This is the story of the stratagem of sowing discord, Fan Jiàn. The poisoned whispers finally crystallized into a catastrophic decision. In the Zhao throne hall, the Chinese king slammed his scepter. Lian Po has betrayed our trust. His caution masks treachery. The royal decree raced to the front, a death sentence for an army's soul. When the veteran Chinese general Lian Po received the order, the bronze tiger Tally felt colder than ice. In that moment, he saw through the enemy's scheme, but loyalty bound his tongue. As he surrendered his command seal, the defensive system he built over 3 years began crumbling. His veteran soldiers watched in disbelief, some breaking their swords rather than serve another commander. The new commander, Chinese General Zhao Kuo, arrived like a storm, arrogant, book-smart, and eager to prove himself. He immediately ordered the dismantling of Lian Po's defensive networks. "Why hide behind walls when we can conquer through courage?" he declared, unaware he was playing exactly the role Qin strategists had written for him. In the Qin camp, Chinese General Bai Qi smiled. The rabbit had walked into the snare. The real battle hadn't started, but the war was already won. Like a floodgate bursting, Zhao's entire army poured into the Dan River Valley, exactly where Chinese General Bai Qi had prepared his masterpiece. For days, the Qin forces feigned retreat, luring the overconfident Chinese General Zhao Kuo deeper into the terrain that would become his tomb. When the last Zhao soldier entered the valley, the mountains themselves came alive. From every Iko surged Bai Qi's elite troops, slamming shut the iron cage. In one devastating move, the Qin forces severed Zhao's supply lines and divided their army into isolated pockets. The brilliant Chinese General Bai Qi had transformed the landscape into a killing ground. Every slope an archery platform, every narrow path an ambush point. For 46 days, the trapped Zhao soldiers endured unimaginable horrors. They ate their war horses, boiled leather armor, and finally resorted to cannibalism. When the desperate Chinese General Zhao Kuo led a final breakout attempt, he became the perfect symbol of his doomed campaign. Pierced by arrows from all directions, his theoretical knowledge useless against the brutal reality of Bai Qi's strategic genius. The final act approached with the grim inevitability of a funeral rite. In the pale dawn, the surviving Zhao soldiers laid down their weapons, trusting the rules of war. But Chinese General Bai Qi saw a darker calculus. Feeding 400,000 prisoners would cripple Qin's campaign, while releasing them would recreate an army. His solution became one of history's most chilling atrocities. Over 3 moonless nights, the promises of surrender were broken. Chinese soldiers of Qin, following brutal orders, systematically executed their captives. The once proud Zhao army was buried in mass graves that dotted the valley like fresh wounds on the earth. When the last cry faded, only 240 youngest soldiers were spared to carry the news back to Zhao, a psychological masterstroke that shattered the kingdom's will to resist. This horrific epilogue revealed the ultimate cost of the Fan Jiàn. The poisoned whispers that began in the Zhao court now ended with rivers of blood. Chinese strategist Fan Zhu's scheme had succeeded beyond imagination, not merely defeating an army but erasing it. The Zhao kingdom never recovered, losing an entire generation and paving the way for Qin's eventual unification of China. In the cruel logic of war, the most elegant stratagem had produced the most barbaric outcome. 知商探兵. Beyond the specific tragedy of Changping, The legacy of Fanjianji confronts us with warfare's eternal duality. The same human intelligence that creates poetry and philosophy can also devise perfect deception. This Chinese strategic concept has evolved from ancient spycraft to a universal lens for understanding conflict in any era. We see its principles alive in modern cybersecurity, where attackers exploit human trust through phishing schemes, in financial markets where misinformation triggers cascading crashes, in diplomatic circles where carefully planted rumors reshape global alliances. The ancient wisdom that all warfare is based on deception finds new expression in algorithmic propaganda and cognitive warfare, proving that while technology advances, the human mind remains the decisive battlefield. Yet this stratagem also carries a profound warning. The same ingenuity that secured Qin's victory could not prevent its own collapse, reminding us that strategies built on deception may win battles, but rarely sustain empires. In our interconnected age, perhaps the ultimate evolution of Fanjianji is learning when not to use it. When trust, not suspicion, becomes the foundation for lasting achievement. Fanjianji Engyu. Fanjianji.